Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to the WDW Parkhoppers Table for Four, where I bring three of the most fascinating, interesting, awesome people that I know together to talk here live on Blab.im. If you were here on Wednesday nights at 8 o'clock, you could be part of the chat. And not only that, you could also win an incredible gift card from one of our great friends in the Disney community. Joining me tonight is, I'm telling you, an all-star lineup. I wasn't lying. On Facebook earlier today, so I had an all-star lineup, and that is absolutely the case. Let me start off with ladies first, as always. My good friend, Kristen Go. Tell us a little bit about yourself, my friend.
Well, I love to eat, I love to drink, and I love Disney. So all those things together make for a really good food blog. And mine is Dining at Disney. And I cover everything from Disney World to Disneyland. I even have one of my writers. She lives out in that direction, out towards Disneyland. So she covers all that news. And then with Big Bubba B, who is also out in Disneyland. I don't know if you're familiar with him, John.
Yeah.
But Bubba is my co-host for the Dining at Disney podcast.
Excellent. Well, let's go ahead and talk to your cohort in crime, your knight in shining armor,
I don't know about that.
Your Anakin Skywalker to your Padme.
What about the Beast?
What about the Beast to your Belle?
To her Belle.
Oh, wait,
I love it.
Wait, I had another one. The Edge to your Lita.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Al John, my good friend Al John Go. Tell everybody a little bit about yourself, my friend.
Can I be the Chris Jericho to her Trish Stratus instead?
Ooh,
that'd be great.
Even better.
I like that. Even better.
Yeah.
What about Black Widow to the Hulk?
Oh, Black Widow to the Hulk. Okay, I'm down with that.
Nice.
I'm down with that. I'm Al John Go, of course. Thanks for having me on the show. My incredible wife, Kristen, at Dining at Disney. We also have another podcast called WDW Tiki Room, which airs live on Sorcerer Radio at srsounds.com. So several different ways you can listen to us in Sorcerer Radio. So happy that we're celebrating our 15th anniversary streaming Disney park music, and the library is growing exponentially. We've got a brand new server. We pay all our licensing, so we're doing this all legally, like a real radio station should. And we have been doing it legally, streaming legally for over 15 years. So I'm very excited about that, and we're excited that we're here on the show. And I also have a website called JediMouseketeer.com where I predicted the merger of Lucasfilm and Disney before it actually happened. So there you go.
So you are a Jedi.
I don't know if I'm a Jedi, but I might be a Force user using both sides, dark side and the light.
Ooh.
That's why I bring balance to the Force.
Nice. And for those of you who might know me from Disney Parks Podcast, we have been on Sorcerer Radio for a couple of years now. I've joined back on the podcast. It is a privilege and an honor to be on there. We are so grateful. We were in really good company, and Tony and I just want to thank you for being part of it. And congratulations on your anniversary.
Oh, thank you so much. And we just want to bring the fans closer together, whether you're a Marvel fan or you're a Disney fan or a Star Wars fan. It's great that it's all under one roof now. Yeah. And we can share our fandom together as a community. So, we appreciate all the different podcasters and all the different radio stations that are out there. But we're glad to have some really quality people, and not only having your show, but also getting to know you as people, I think has been awesome.
Right.
So
cool. Thank you. Last, and certainly not least, a new friend to me. But super talented. I love his site and what he and his wife do over at WW Plantunes, plantunes.com, right? Did I get the URL right? Hopefully. Yeah. Good. Mm-hmm. Excellent.
Both get there, WDW Plantunes and Plantunes.
Excellent. My good friend Dominic. Everybody say hello. Welcome, my good friend. Tell everybody a little bit about you, what you do, where we can find you, all that good stuff.
What we do is we record a podcast that is usually unlistenable. So we take about 2 or 3 minutes that are actually funny, cut it down to that, and make a cartoon out of it. So we started as a podcast, and we didn't even want to hear it. So we took the funny bits, animated those, threw them on iTunes and YouTube, and you can find us in both places. Also, we branched out into try to recreate a Disney meal cooking show. So my wife tries to recreate a recipe from Disney from many, many cookbooks, and we film that too. So part cooking show, part podcast, part cartoon vlog is planned too.
Wow, all that and literally the kitchen sink.
Yes, it's been filmed.
That's awesome.
And a fellow guitarist I can see in the background. This is good.
That is my wife. My wife is a string player.
Oh, she's a string player? Oh, okay, great.
Yeah.
Well, good for her.
I can play some saxophone with that.
Oh, that's
Oh,
okay.
well.
I used to be in marching band. I know all about it.
Yeah, man.
That's my day job, teaching that.
Oh, cool.
Oh, nice.
Didn't know that. That's excellent.
Yep.
That's the cast of characters for this week. And like I said, we want to get together and talk about Disney. And I wanted to kind of come at it from a different way. We all talk about Disney news and rumors, and we talk about a lot of what's going on in the parks. And, we all give our opinions and our sides of what we think's happening. And so what I thought we would do this week is just have a little fun. And I'd love to get your insights. And if you're in the chat room, we would love to hear what you have to say about what we would love to see built at Walt Disney World. I would love to hear what you guys think. So just before we jump into that, it's my fault. I should have done this earlier, but we have a sponsor for today's giving away a $25 gift card for Disney. It's a Disney gift card. Bill Wingate is a good friend of mine. He's a travel agent. You can find him on Facebook.com/Bill Must Love Travel. He's part of the Must Love Travel and Kingdom Magic Vacations family. He's a great guy. His ability to book your travel is awesome. He's just funny. My dogs are going crazy right now. Live TV, ladies and gentlemen, live TV. So, Bill Must Love Travel he's a great. I hate you.
Aww.
Oh, you can almost hear "I love you" in Bart.
You know what it is the UPS guy just showed up with. I ordered a box of books. Of the.
Nice.
He's working late. The UPS guy. Good job.
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Late.
Yeah, there he goes. So I'm blown away. So yeah, now I officially have copies of the Disney Bucket List book. So yeah,
Nice.
go for me.
Yay.
All right. So having to edit. Yay. So Bill Wingate, Bill Must Love Travel on Facebook. He is an amazing guy. He's a lot of fun. He'll take care of you. He'll take care of your family. So thank him for sponsoring the show. $25 gift card to one lucky winner in the chat room. Yes, you have to be in it to win it. So come on and listen. If you're not listening to the show live, you definitely want to come on Wednesday night. So as I was saying, getting back to the topic, what do you guys want to see when you talk about dreaming about Disney? What do you guys actually envision? What would you guys like to see?
Who wants to go first?
I pulled my kids. I pulled the target audience. I said, "What would you like to see?" And my son wants to see a Sugar Rush Candy Racer, which I think would be
Nice.
a really easy Tomorrowland Speedway overlay. So
That would be cool.
Oh, yeah.
And it
That's not
sits right
bad.
by Fantasyland, so it's not like you couldn't take it out of being part of Tomorrowland.
That is one brilliant idea, and I like it.
I like it a
It's
lot.
not my idea, and I endorse it.
I endorse it wholeheartedly. I think that's an amazing idea. I think there should be some type of Wreck-It Ralph something somewhere outside of a meet and greet. I would love to see a Wreck-It.
Well, having the Sugar Rush there, you might as well open the arcade as well.
yeah,
Get the Whitlock's arcade, and that would be a really cool place, not just for meet and greet, but that would be actually a really cool segue into maybe Tomorrowland. Be it electronics and gaming and all kinds of cool things.
Yeah,
So,
totally.
I could see that transitioning pretty well, and maybe from there, who knows? Maybe it could be a Flynn's arcade too. You just don't know.
Well, now you're ooh.
You see, because that could go into
No.
that could go back into Disneyland. Not just Walt Disney World, but
I think
that-
Vanellope would need to take over what is it? Aunt Gravity's?
anti-gravity.
Uh-huh.
That would be
Yeah.
great.
And be a little like candy and cupcakes and Not the typical ones you get, on like Main Street or whatever, but something a little bit different than if you went into like Big Top or any of that. A little more like elaborate cupcakes, brightly colored.
What about like a cupcake? Not that you would do it yourself, like a cupcake bar, like when you go to like the the ice cream places and you get you choose your toppings. What if you could do that? You buy the base cupcake and then you get the amount of toppings to just like make these monstrous, crazy, sugar, awesome. Oh dude!
Pay by the pound cupcake.
Pay by the pound.
I mean, everything would have to be very colorful, though. All kinds of fun colored candies and colored icings. Like bright blue and bright pink and purple and.
Absolutely.
I'm down with that. I'm down with
the
whole experience of making your candy or cupcakes in this case. I think is great because you get people involved. People love that experience, and it's all about the experience, right? So I would be all for that, and getting boxes literally the size from here to here of like, making your cupcake sandwiches and all kinds of cool things would be super cool. So I can see that.
That's a great idea.
Oh,
that's so
makes me hungry now. Right? Why do you have to?
I haven't had dinner yet, so.
Neither have I.
Start gnawing off my arm.
The other cool thing is because you can get so many holiday themed candies. Think of all the holidays they could have.
Yeah, Valentine's Day.
Special cupcake stuff for,
Christmas.
Yeah. Oh man, can you imagine
Halloween.
What the Halloween overlay would be like?
Oh, right.
Crazy. I love Lilo and Stitch. Obviously, if you can see, I love Stitch. A buddy of mine drew that for me.
Nice.
So I love Stitch so much. I would be willing to sacrifice the Stitch's Great Escape because it's not a great attraction. Take that whole thing out and make that the Vanellope Von sweet shop, the meet and greet area, the overlay area. I think that would be awesome. And they could reroute everybody around the back door into the speedway and make it the race car ride. That would be phenomenal. Oh gosh.
Just made him very happy. Look at that.
Yeah, that was out of left field. I had no idea. That would be great.
Well, on that same thing, instead of having NBA go into Disney Quest, they should really make it, very much like the arcade and have, the heroes duty and laser tag experience, which would have been awesome. And then they would have had, some great games there and stuff like that they could base those character meet and greets. Right. Disney Pixar there too. I mean, why the hell not?
I mean, yeah, and I'm sorry to jump on. You kind of stole.
Oh no, you're fine.
Stole my thunder a little bit because I was thinking Flynn's Arcade instead of the NBA experience, and each floor would be a different thing. So, I would still like to have an arcade somewhere I could go play video games if I really wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's so many different things in Tron or, even Wreck-It Ralph that you could do to make it cool. And it could just be cutting edge. I mean, they have to be able to invest the time and money to do it properly. But I don't think it's a bad, or it can be a bad thing. I mean, let's be cutting edge. Let's have great interactive experiences and not rest on our laurels and just have. I'm just not all about having NBA come in because NBA was such a failure over there at the Devil Park, So it's like, why? Well, I mean, I say that jokingly, but not really. But but anyway, it would be cool to have for Disney Springs and in downtown Disney over there because I still think that there's people that are interested in having those type of experiences. So.
Right. All right, so that's an amazing idea. 2 awesome ideas. Disney, if you're listening, you can find us. Here we're all available. You just do a little search. We would love to give you ideas because. Sometimes I think you've run out, but
what I wish, John?
What do you wish?
That actually could happen is, do you remember the long rumored e-ticket ride at Epcot, the bullet train?
Yeah.
You recall that?
I've heard rumors.
Okay. So there was supposed to be a bullet train ride going from China to Japan with some type of Godzilla element put in there, and it would have been the e-ticket attraction for the World Showcase. I just think they should do it because, obviously they've worked well with other film companies like, you know, Paramount and other things. They could definitely work to get Godzilla. I think that would be a really cool, very iconic character to have, and then to have the bullet train attraction go very similar to like California Screaming 0 to 60 in a couple seconds, or you know, a rock and roller coaster, and to have something like that would bullet people, you know, around, and you'd be able to see Godzilla fight Mothra or Mechagodzilla or whatever. I think that would be so cool.
Yeah.
To have, and it would be something that would bring a little bit more level of excitement and fantasy yet authenticity to pop culture as it relates to the World Showcase.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think that would be so cool, so much better than having a fake country of Arendelle. Now I sound like the guy that's all negative, you know, but I don't mind that at all. But I would love to see that actually come to life. Because Epcot needs a really good e-ticket attraction.
I've thought about a roller coaster back at World Showcase.
Or why not the bullet train go from Japan to the front of the park? Something that takes you from World Showcase to Future World, because
that's a hike.
Yeah, it's a long walk, especially at night.
Let's have a thrill ride.
You got to walk out to the parking lot.
That would be interesting. That would be interesting.
You know, I mean,
it would fit in with Future World.
Say that again.
And it would fit in with Future World.
Oh, that would be great. Yeah, bullet train would be awesome. That's a great idea. I've always talked about, you know, this would never happen, and it's not Disney, but you know, using the idea of the roller coaster in World Showcase. I love the idea of the bullet train with Godzilla, but the geek nerd in me would love to be like a James Bond thing, because it's going from country to country to country, you know. But maybe there was
the adult version.
Yeah, the adult version. Yeah,
the adult version of Kim Possible.
Exactly. But just some type of a coaster or something, some type of e-ticket, like you said, would be amazeballs. We need something desperately at Epcot, other than a extra long festival.
I thought for sure that they would do a Tron-like overlay on Test Track, which would make sense. But since it didn't happen, hey, you know, I'm okay with that. That's fine. But you know, give us an e-ticket attraction for the World Showcase, because Future World, you know, you've got your attractions there, and that's great. You have, you know, several e-tickets there already. Let's have something in the World Showcase,
right.
And you know, and if not that, maybe something. Do something like what you were talking about, some type of train, because we don't have an internal train mechanism in Epcot that would make sense. We've got trains in a lot of different parks, which is a Disney staple, right. But it would be nice to have a mode of transportation to get you from point A to point B, Future World to World Showcase, as Kristen said. And if it's not an e-ticket attraction, you know, maybe some type of, you know, futuristic, TTA style ride that would be able to get people from point A to point B, because it is a haul.
Right. It is. It's a little bit of a hike.
Yeah. It's a park with no hub. It's a big figure 8.
Yep.
Yeah.
My daughter wants a second loop to Test Track so that cars would actually race each other, and the winner would be the one who designed the better car.
Nice.
Dude.
Ooh, that would be interesting.
Your kids are brilliant.
Yeah, well, you know, that's all they do. They don't have to worry about like bills, and they can just dream goofy stuff.
I totally get that.
Dream big. I like it.
Second track would be amazing.
Second track, and the winner is the one who designed the better car in the queue.
That'd be great. That would make more sense than what we've got now, because, you know, you've got a great car and you get this arbitrary number. Hey, your car is this and this. But racing somebody would be wonderful.
Well, how cool would it be to actually get 3D printed, painted cars that you built in your experience to take that home with you? You know, whether it's like some type of ride makers. That's where I think ride maker should be. Ride maker should be right next to Test Track. You know, and that's just that's a great idea. But I've always thought that it would be really cool to have some type of, you know, take home for that, you know, like what, you know, so.
We lost Kristen.
We lost Kristen. She'll hop back on, I'm sure. But I like Dominic's kids' ideas, man. Do they have any more ideas that you're going to spout off during the show?
Maybe. Yeah, maybe.
What else do you?
I'd like to see a Disneyland of the Lost, like all the ideas you've ever heard that they didn't build, have a place where those ideas actually get built, like a Thunder Mesa, and just like the land of lost Imagineering.
I actually have a travel book from the 90s that states, it's from I believe the early 90s, that states that Russia is going to be completed in the World Showcase in 9.
Kristen is stuttering. She is stuttering.
I'm hanging on her every syllable.
I believe she said that the World Showcase, that it would be in the 90s, that Russia would be built. And, that is something I definitely would like to see them do. We have a lot of different spaces that at Epcot that need to be spruced up, built. There's a lot of space, and why not fill it with countries? Now, I know that they want to have the countries co-op a build, but isn't it time, people? Isn't it time that we had other countries represented in, around the Seven Seas Lagoon? I mean,
yeah,
I think it's time, folks.
Yeah, they did. They made a great decision. We're going to go ahead and build Arendelle. The problem is now they've proven that they don't have to get the sponsoring companies to sign off on it. So just build another country. Let's build some more. I think that we need to have Southeast Asia represented. I would love to see something New Zealand, Australia. I would love to see countries brought in that have incredible cuisines to sample, because I'm getting a little tired of the same things when you go outside of food and wine or flower and garden. I definitely think it's time for South America to be represented in a bigger way than just during the Flower and Garden Food and Wine Festival. So,
considering the number of people that come from South America to visit the parks, I'm really surprised there's not a restaurant anywhere that features Brazilian, Argentinian, something like that kind of food.
Right.
You would think. What I was also thinking is that in the Old Wonders of Life Pavilion, if they want to talk about future technology and things like that and medical advancements, why don't they just go ahead and make that into a some type of future type of medical lab, and talk about science, maybe talk about conservation, because or recycling, because they're really big on their green initiatives,
right.
And just talk about how technology can have a better impact on the world, because they haven't updated living with the land. And I really feel that the Wonders of Life Pavilion could really be resurrected in a way that they could have great interactive things and edutainment, as Walt would say, and just and make it all about, whether it be the human body or robotics, cybernetics, or something really cool. I mean, I hate to go all Star Trek, which I believe Disney should have bought as well, as Star Wars, but right. But something like that would be great to have in there. And to be quite honest, I don't have a problem with Body Wars. They just need to redo it and make it happen.
Yeah. Put it back.
and come back. Put it back, man. Because I think that was a really novel concept.
Yeah.
And with the technology that they have today to make that attraction badass and totally awesome, they could do it.
That was a little bit like building a spaceship across the street. Like they were going to shrink this guy down to remove a splinter. But it was a fun show.
Yeah. Yep.
Well,
exactly.
They've got some properties now that lend itself to that. And one of the guys in the chat room said Inside Out. You've got the pre-made characters, you've got the pre-made story. They're already inside your head. What if we go on a tour? And I think that's a great idea. Bring that back and put something else in there other than a festival center. And on top of that, I think it's time to do something with the Universe of Energy building.
I have a good idea. I think they should just admit it and just put in beds, so everybody could take their 45-minute nap. Come out refreshed, away from the sun.
And
Considering that's what people use it for now.
Oh, yeah.
Last
So
three
many
trips.
times I've been in there, and there's a guy laying down, like completely down, sleeping through the whole
It's
45 minutes.
Yeah.
a massive cot that just drags you through.
Well, they can find a sponsorship with like Casper mattresses,
Yeah, right.
and they could
Right.
the technology of good sleep. Discover yourself and sleep for 45 minutes.
Right.
Excellent, yeah.
And refresh yourself.
That's a,
And while you're there, we could run, holistic oxygen bars and have, full tidal wave body massage, and that'd be great.
dude, I'm loving that idea.
You set your sleep number, and there you go.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. You know.
Today's show is brought to you by the number 7.
Float through the dinosaurs.
Oh
And,
yeah.
Ellen would be all about that.
Yeah.
But if they wanted to keep the theme for that area, obviously, the having a more current version of the energy adventure talking about being green,
Right.
would be really neat. And of course, the wonders of life, just converting that over. You, Dominic, maybe you had mentioned about a place where attractions or Lost Disney could happen. I mentioned this on the Disney Parks podcast for the year preview episode about perhaps doing a Disney museum and building it at either Epcot or maybe even having another gate for it. But all of the attractions that didn't make it, for example, Candyland never made it to Disneyland or Walt Disney World,
Right.
but you could do that, and you could experience old attractions virtually, like Horizons, or you could learn more about the Imagineers and how certain audio animatronics were made, or whatever the case is, and just have a really cool place that would meet the needs of hardcore Disney fans that miss those attractions in the park.
Could you imagine like Mr. Toad a la Star Tours or Body Wars?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. That would be a great place for those attractions to live in a virtual environment. And, if you've been to D23, you know that it would be cool to get your picture taken in a Mr. Toad's Wild Ride car or one of the Skyway cars or something like that, and say, like, this is back in the day. This is what we used to have. And, granted, it's not practical to have anymore for whatever reason, but at least you can relive those memories and you can build upon that. And, having those ride vehicles there would make for great photo ops, and to have that kind of history there instead of the small one man's dream that we have at Hollywood, but to have something really big there, I think would be great.
Yeah.
Because they have the vault, they have the Disney vault, and I know, why don't have some of that stuff on display and have it curated and have it be sponsored by D23, you know?
That's the thing. I just don't want to get too far away from why Walt Disney World's called Walt Disney World. And I'm afraid that we're going to lose out a whole generation of people who don't understand. We all love Disney because we have a history with it, and we have a deep history. We've researched it. We've read books. We've started blogs. We've read blogs. I would love for that real history to be available for people. We've got the Family Museum in San Francisco. Why couldn't we have, the Walt Disney Museum, a different type of museum built here? It makes sense. This was the Florida project. This was the big deal. This was his dream. He was going to build Epcot here. I mean, not Epcot what we have now, but like literally the, experimental, prototype community of tomorrow. So I would love to see something like that. That'd be great.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
I think another thing that would be great, and at least at one point, hopefully when Universal decides that it's time, is to just go ahead and get Marvel in there. It's wishful thinking, but it would be really nice to even have a fifth gate.
A Marvel park, though. I mean, that could be a fifth park if they can get, that from, or when they get that from Universal, because there's so many characters that, think of all the different lands you could have based on everything.
You got all the different
That'd
properties.
be amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And the restaurants you could have. See, you definitely have to have a place for shawarma.
Oh yeah,
shawarma restaurant.
Shawarma place, yeah. Well, I mean, you've got everything that's happening on Netflix is based in Hell's Kitchen. I mean, just think about the incredible food you have just in that area of New York, and then you have the regular New York where Fantastic Four and all of that craziness goes on. And you could have incredible lands in an entire park and theme it incredibly well. I don't dislike what Universal's done, but Universal's kind of stuck in that, and partially because they have to be. They're stuck in that 1960s, 70s style, comic book. And when their little comic book characters come to life and they come riding their cars out, people don't recognize them because they don't look like what they see in the movies.
No, it's really bad. In fact, it's not even Jack Kirby's from the 60s style art. It is the 1990s. Yeah. And that is, look, the only thing good that came out of Marvel in the 1990s was the Fox X-Men cartoon. Everything else was not good. And I'm sorry, I'll take the heat for that because I am a huge Marvel fan and a Marvel Unlimited subscriber. So I can say it, give me the hate mail. But Rachel Guy 72 in the chat room says Disney might have to sell its soul to Universal to get it. Laugh out loud. That's like, they just might.
I mean, it's like they're holding on to it for spite at this point because what do they get out of it besides advertising for someone else's park and it taking up space in theirs?
Well, and we know now that they don't even use any of the Marvel characters in any of the marketing for any of their parks.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think all the merchandising, they have to give, a portion of profits to Disney.
Yeah, I'm losing what they're getting out of it at this point.
Yeah.
Besides,
diminishing returns.
Yeah, besides keeping it from them.
Well,
and the worst part is that they just refurbished the entire Hulk ride there at Universal, to try to give it some new life. But I honestly, that would be so cool of them to not just build Avengers Tower on the West Coast, but to have a Marvel type land on the East Coast and build it. That would be a dream come true because we know Star Wars Land is coming.
Right.
That's going to happen, but it would be so neat to have Marvel there.
Yeah, Star Wars Land is coming. I wish they were doing a little bit more with it, but I'm happy that we're getting something. So that being said, very happy that we're getting something.
What would be really neat is we have all the live action remakes of the Disney films that are happening.
Right.
What I don't understand is why they haven't made it to Hollywood studios. Poor Kristen. She's getting de-rezzed. She's getting de-rezzed. Honey, you're getting de-rezzed. I'm sorry, Kristen. There goes my wife.
Uh-oh.
I'm gonna have to run some helpline to her.
Okay.
Because she's on Wi-Fi and that's part of the problem. But
okay.
But what was I gonna say? Oh, you guys discuss amongst yourselves. I'll be right back.
All right. Well, let me take this break in the action to talk about Bill Wingate, and he's our sponsor for today. And he is giving a $25 gift card for one lucky listener here in the chat room. And each week we try to line up somebody to sponsor the show. And, between $10 and $20, $25 gift card each week for as long as they're willing to do it. But Bill Wingate, you can find him at facebook.com/Bill Must Love Travel. He's great as a travel agent. He's a good friend of mine. He is part of the Must Love Travel Kingdom Magic Vacations family. He's amazing at what he does. He's a passionate person that loves Disney, loves booking travel for people, and he's a lot of fun to be around. So, Bill, thank you so much for sponsoring the show. Make sure that you visit facebook.com/Bill Must Love Travel. Check out his site, and we're going to be giving that away here in just a little bit. We're not going to go really late tonight. We're going to try to keep this under an hour. So if you're in the chat room, hang out or figure out a way to kick people off so you can win, just like Daniel did or Dominic did last week. Hey, Chris is back.
Internet signal keeps dropping down, and every time it does, I go away.
Are you hardwired in now?
No, is that where Aljon went?
Yeah, he's gonna bring you a cable. Oh, there he comes.
I guess he didn't find it.
Yeah, I'm trying to find out what happened to that cable I was supposed to put for you. I thought you might have it, but okay. So be it.
All right. So, did you want to go ahead and throw your idea out there, buddy?
Oh, I'm trying to remember exactly what it was. I got distracted.
Yeah, I don't know. Much like a lot of ideas at Disney, we lost them. Oh,
sorry about that. Zing.
All right, Dominic.
Okay.
What else have your kids been dreaming up?
Throw an attraction at every resort. Every resort gets a ride of some kind. So I think it moves something like Primeval Whirl, which has a shore pier kind of amusement park feel. Put it on the boardwalk. And some rides that they're going to take away, maybe they can recreate somewhere else. Like if they're ever to take Tom Sawyer's Island out, put it in Fort Wilderness or something. So it lives on somewhere else. Or there's another reason to stay on property.
That's a
great idea.
That's a good idea. My fear is that they would be even tighter about security.
Yeah, you'll never park there ever again.
Yeah, never ever. But that's a great idea. It's a great idea. Let's see. Man. What would we put at Animal Kingdom Lodge? Well, we've got the animals.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
I guess we could do a safari there. So what will we put at Art of Animation?
That attraction where you used to be able to get a drawing lesson.
Yes,
they already do that. They do that. Yeah,
they do that.
Yeah, so they do that there. That's a good thought. What about Polynesian?
That's where they could have the tiki room.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
It does,
you know? And it would free up. Hey, look, I obviously Tiki Room podcast, right? So I love the fact that the Tiki Room's still there, but it would be great to have it there at the Polynesian Resort. It would make sense.
Yeah.
And then we could free up a little bit of space there to bring in new attractions or whatnot, right. And still, not tick off a whole lot of people. But I understand they want to charge people to see that. So
sure.
It is
another great attraction for the Polynesian is Disneyland Paris has it. We could bring over the Turtle Talk with Crush. Their version is like Chat with Stitch. So they could bring that in. That wouldn't take up a lot of space, and that wouldn't be that difficult to do in a small little area over there. You could actually have interaction with Stitch. That'd be fun. That'd be kind of a cool little attraction, which makes sense. Polynesian.
Yeah, totally. Have you guys ever seen the Japanese version of the Tiki Room with Stitch?
No.
Okay, so they have Stitch's Tiki Room, and he actually comes in and does covers of Elvis songs, which is really cool. So that it's kind of like a Blue Hawaii style Stitch meets Tiki Room, and I saw it when I was down there, and I thought that was just really cool. It would be really nice to have different types of shows kind of rotate in and out of attractions like that, so that you could get different experiences. We love it or hate it, Tiki Room under new management still had some cool parts to it.
Right.
And the original Tiki Room did too. And so does the Polynesian Stitch version. It would be really nice to have a different, every time you go in, you have a different show. Or maybe they have different show times for different showcases, for example.
Right.
And that would be really neat to have. I think that would be something they could build. But one thing that I know that I would love to have built is actually an extended monorail loop. I think that having the monorail go to the different parks, albeit muy expensive,
right.
Very expensive, would be really nice to have, because I love riding the monorail, and it'd be nice to have monorail exits and entrances everywhere. So
that would be amazing.
Yeah, because it's got to be weird for people who just aren't regulars. Oh, I could get a monorail and only go to these two places and some resorts. And then if I want to go here, I have to take a bus or a boat. And if I want to go to this place, I have to, it's just, why doesn't it go everywhere?
there's so many people who have never been and they're planning their first trip that think that the monorail goes to all the hotels, and having to explain to them it's only select hotels, and that, at this particular hotel you're looking at, it only has buses or whatever it may be. But it confuses a lot of people, especially when they watch Disney's commercials. They make things appear very different than what they are, especially like this new commercial that they just put out that you can just like check into your hotel and you tell the person this is what I want, and now you've got your fast passes and the dining and all these things like that. They make it very confusing, I think, for people.
Yeah, they make it sound so easy. And it's not. So, what does this button do? So we're going to answer a question. We have a question in the chat room that pertains to what we're talking about. So Rachel Guy 72 asks, if you could add any type of transportation to Walt Disney World, real or made up, what would you add?
Transporter. Give me
I like
everywhere.
it. Like I said, Star Trek. That would be awesome. Let's get on a transporter pad. Let's beam to Disney Springs. From Disney Springs, let's hit up all the different parks. And hey, while we're at it, let's just beam ourselves to Shanghai and say hi, and then go to Hong Kong and say Shushin, and then move back. Beam back. It'd be awesome.
That's right. That technology would be great, because then they could actually build the global annual pass.
The universal pass? What?
Yeah. Can you imagine how expensive that would be?
I was going to say, oh my gosh, that would be so expensive.
Yeah,
I'd pay it. I figure out. Here, Harley, come here. I'll sell my dog. Here, I'll sell a kid.
It still might be cheaper than flying first class on Virgin Airways. So
that's true. That
still might be good.
What about you, Kristen? What kind of, are you in with the transport, or would you go some other direction?
I think I have to go with that. Just because, how convenient is it to be in one place and then 5 minutes later you're on the other side of the world? Can't really beat that.
Why don't they just build the Millennium Falcon and Star Tours and just have different starports and just and have us do Star Tours for real? That'd be great.
That would be cool. I would vote, and I know the movie's I'm gonna catch a lot of heat for the movie. I would go with the jetpack from Tomorrowland.
There you go.
Strap a jetpack on. I'll see you over there. And take off. That would be cool.
They can't handle the strollers. Can you imagine people flying in? In? Wait a minute. You flew right in front of me. I was in this line for 30 minutes and
Right.
Hey, look, if Stark Industries built rocket boots for everybody, then there wouldn't be an issue of space. Everybody would be wearing rocket boots to propel themselves everywhere. That'd be great. I
totally get that. I think that's a great idea. So, so I think hands down, Rachel Guy 72. It's the transporter. We're all behind it. I'd like to see the jetpack. I wouldn't mind doing like a TTA around to some of the different resorts, like a TTA people mover kind of thing between Boardwalk and Epcot and Hollywood Studios. I would be cool with that. Some kind of thing we just get on, have a leisurely little ride all around the boardwalk and hit up Epcot. It'd probably take, 45 minutes to complete a loop. God, 45 minutes to sit and just, and now we're coming up to Disney's Epcot. You can have the whole narration thing, and I think that would be fun. I think that'd be kind of a neat way to get around.
Light cycle.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh. Yeah, speaking of light cycle, I wish we would get the Tron ride. I want the Tron ride from Shanghai.
Everybody's saying that. Everybody's saying it. I think we're just we may be getting that in some form or fashion. I have that feeling. It's not going to be the same ride, but that'd be really cool.
Explode.
Exactly.
What would be cool is like a double-decker boat that's used for the resorts by Epcot.
Oh.
And that way you have the top, like how you see those tour buses in cities that have the two decks, and the top one is open so you can see everything, and then you have below where it's all covered. And that way you have plenty of both seating.
Yes.
That would be fun.
Yes. I have a great idea, and we could all get behind this. What if we had the Disney party bus.
Oh Lord. That would be
I
great.
don't see Disney getting behind that one.
You're only on it for like 20, 30 minutes, but 20, 30 minutes of have a cocktail.
Let me tell you what happened during my bachelor party. my brother got a party bus, and one of my groomsmen totally ended up splattering the outside of that bus because he had so much to drink. That would be hilarious.
Oh no.
I wouldn't want to be the guest outside of that tour bus when the party bus rolled in.
Well, I mean,
you have that bus.
You'd have to have drink tickets. Like, okay, you can only have this many drinks on the bus.
right. I mean, they'd have to limit it somehow. But yeah, I think it's a great idea. A party bus would be called party boat. I mean, they do kind of have the party boat thing already, but
You have it with the Electric Mayhem from the Muppets. They had that crazy.
Exactly.
bus.
They had the. I wish they would bring that back. You know, it would be so cool to see the Electric Mayhem touring around the World Showcase.
that'd
So
be
cool.
awesome.
Be so cool. You know, something I think they should build is maybe a redo of the Muppet Vision 3D and bring it up to today's Tonight Show, Late Show with Miss Piggy, and have the TV studio there, because it is Hollywood Studios, and they could definitely have some type of newer type of attraction there where the Muppets would take you through their TV studio.
Yeah,
You know, I think.
Yeah.
No Waldo.
Okay,
Lose Waldo.
Who was that?
You know what?
You got to lose Waldo, the spirit of 3D.
Oh yeah, lose Waldo.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
3D.
He drives me
That was
crazy.
good.
That was actually
Like
too
that?
good. That's very good.
That was way too good. Don't ever do it again, please.
Okay, all right. Kristen has nightmares about Waldo.
No, he's the Muppet Jar Jar.
He is the Muppet Jar.
He's worse than Jar Jar.
Oh, I don't know about that, because it turns into Mickey Mouse, so there's a plus. Jar Jar doesn't turn anything except a Sith Lord.
So here's a Sith Lord, Mickey Mouse. But let me ask you this: so, do you think that Waldo is actually Mickey Mouse, or is Waldo just pretending to be Mickey Mouse at the end?
He's pretending to be Mickey
He's
Mouse.
the perpetrator.
He's trouble.
He's perpetrating.
He's trouble.
He's fronting.
Yes.
There you go. You heard it here first.
But speaking of Muppets, I think they should change Mama Melrose to be a Swedish chef themed restaurant.
Yes.
You know, I think that would just be a great, fun place to go eat, you know, and you could do character meet and greets there too, though.
Did you
Because, you know, they have the Mickey, they've got the Kermit and Miss Piggy costumes already, because they used to do the meet and greets.
Right.
You know, that Mama Melrose actually was supposed to be a Muppets eatery. They actually have some of the, I think it was supposed to be run by Swedish Chef and Rizzo the Rat or something. And they had they still had some stuff that's kind of still left there from them.
Yeah, but it's not very Muppety.
No.
Not
getting all Muppety up in here, are you?
The other thing I would like to see, though, in that park as well, not Muppet related, but, you know, with them expanding Pixar Place, would be for them to build a Remy themed French restaurant.
Oh yeah,
there,
definitely
another signature restaurant in that park. You could do it. You could do it as Gusteau's and use the little Remy that they had, that they brought to the table, or have Remy come out and do meet and greets. You know, I mean, there's so much you could do.
Yep. You
that.
have a special area where you could pay a fee and come in and do the anyone can cook.
Mm-hmm.
You know, do a live
have built off to the side of the restaurant where they could do cooking classes.
Yeah,
I think it's a great idea.
I remember my daughter made Nestle cookies once at the Lamb Pavilion, and
nice.
So if they can do something that lame, they can do something awesome.
Oh yeah,
absolutely.
I'd pay for it. I'd pay to do some kind of cooking class. You know, it doesn't have to be anything big. Maybe you just make like crepes or something like that. But
I think that would be great, and Remy could come out at the end, or
pose for pictures.
Yeah, pose for pictures, or they could do. They could figure out a way to project Gaston. Is it Gaston? Gusteau.
Gusteau.
I forget. I called Guido the other day.
Yes.
Hey, have you seen a Han Solo?
hey, why you not like the Kessel Run in 12 parts? Anyway, so the little chef that flies around, you can have him projected all throughout that. I think that would be great. I'm not even trying. It's too late in the day. I am tired. I'm not going to.
You're forced to cook with a rat in your head.
There you go. It's like holding your little pigtails around.
That's right.
Moving around.
Well, since we're there, let's take a couple of minutes and talk about what other eateries, what other dining stuff needs to be built at Disney. I mean, we've got a lot of great stuff coming in Disney Springs, and we know we're getting some eateries at Pixar Place. We know we're getting some drinkeries and probably eateries in Star Wars Land. What else? What other signature dining does there need to be? Because we all talk about dining at some point in what we do. So what else do we need to build?
Honestly, I think they need to bring a really nice Mexican restaurant to Disney Springs. Paradiso, I know you love it, John, but it doesn't do it for me.
Yeah. Go ahead.
In Epcot, I would really like to see something replace Nine Dragons.
Yeah.
That's one of those restaurants that pretty much anytime you can go to the park that day and get in to eat. It's very rare that it's ever, sold out and you can't get a reservation.
Right.
It's just the food is okay, and they do so much better food for the China marketplace during Food and Wine, or even during Lotus House during Flower and Garden. Mm-hmm. Why not have those like steam buns and stuff like that available in the restaurant all the time? Because both those places are, I feel, subpar.
Right. I agree with you. My only fear, Aljon, is that they would do the fine Mexican dining. And I'm not against fine Mexican dining, but we've got that at Epcot. I would just like a really good, authentic Mexican restaurant.
That's what I want. Yeah, I don't.
With things like street tacos.
Yeah, street tacos and really, really authentic. Green sauce, red sauce is more Southwestern, but have real deal food. Not the plate is this big and the pieces that you eat are that big, like La Hacienda.
Have you been to Rancho del Zoloco or Zoloca? It's in Disneyland.
No, I've not.
It's right over in Frontierland, and it is a quick service restaurant with amazing food. Like, they have one of the best carne asadas I've had.
Nice.
Something like that
Sounds good
would be.
Now, let's go.
So, yeah.
And they've got a lot to choose from. Because they've got like a grill station and a salad station. They've got where you can get enchiladas and burritos. So they have quite a few things you can choose from there. It'd be nice to have something like that.
Lose Planet Hollywood and put in a dinner theater show, kind of like a medieval times, but with a Disney storyline.
I'm so down with that.
I like that.
I am so down with that. That is so cool.
I may need to smoke a cigarette.
Like a villain show.
Oh, yeah, right.
Villains versus heroes, or maybe villains versus villains. Something villain would be great.
It would be like the WWE of downtown Disney.
It'd be like Fantasmic with food.
Oh yeah, I'm okay with that. Fantastic with food. I like that. Yeah, let's see that, because we could have the Sword and the Stone, Fox and the Hound. We could put all kinds of medieval stuff tie-ins there. What else would be really great is if they actually had more. Not to derail from the food talk.
Sure.
But they should have more places for character meet and greets.
Yeah.
Different varied characters. I feel that they don't show them enough. They don't walk around enough. Even in the new Star Wars launch bay, they're few and far between. And I think that if it's all about character interaction and about making memories, then let's bring them out. I don't know when the last time Meg and Hercules were out, but it would be really nice to see those characters come back and have them wandering around the park at some point, or just in a nice pavilion, like similar to what the launch bay was, with Art of Animation, but to have a nice central place where people can go that has varied characters, not just the Disney princesses, not just the Fab Five, but let's bring out others.
I think if you're in line and the character has to leave, it must be replaced by a character of equal value, as opposed to like being in line for Minnie. She goes away, and like they bring in the dog from Pocahontas.
Ouch. He feels sad now.
You're taking Minnie away. At least a Daisy, not.
Oh yeah.
At least.
All of a sudden, here comes Frollo.
Yeah.
Now you're mad. Or freaking Little John or something. And it's like, oh, dear Lord. But anyway, I'm all about the character hunters and the character experiences and getting pictures and autographs. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I agree. I think that would be amazing, and more character dining experiences would be great. We've got a few, we've got a lot, but I would like to see more.
Mm-hmm.
Never enough.
Yeah, because there's a lot of characters that aren't represented anywhere. And you've got, like Cinderella, you can see her at her castle, or you can see her over at 1900 Park Fair. So it would be nice, some of those others. I would like to see a villain, like a complete villains themed restaurant with character meet and greets, because you don't see a lot of the villains in the park.
Right. They could bring Villains Tonight stage show from Disney Cruise Line and put it in a dinner theater aspect, and it's already built like that. Tweak the show just a little bit, instead of it being like a TV show, it could be more like a dinner theater. You can have more singing, more dance numbers. That would be cool. I would love to see something like that. That makes
I'd like to have an entire complex dedicated to various Disney productions like they do on the cruise line, because they have those properties, they have the music, the costumes, and they could get a theater troupe of trained actors and performers to just rotate that out. And look, we just lost Aladdin over there at Disneyland. So why don't you have the Aladdin show? And here we have Aladdin, then we'll have the villains show, and then we'll have, bring back Beauty and the Beast and do these type of things and do them on a rotating basis. And that would be great.
Could do it at one of the hotels, build a pavilion, kind of how they have like the Spirit of Aloha is kind of like off from the hotel.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Why not find one of the resorts and build something?
Yeah,
That's great.
If anything, maybe for a limited run, a limited time, they're going to have this dinner theater experience that you mentioned. And for a limited time, you can see the production of, the villain show, so they can do that instead of rotating it out. Right.
Savannah Candle in the chat room said Club Villain sold out. So that shows how in demand they really are. And that's very true. They sold out. Then didn't they take some dates away? And then they haven't replaced those dates. Am I incorrect? Am I wrong with that?
I don't know if they took out dates,
I
but I know that they're always sold out. Kristen and I were at Club Disney a couple weeks ago, and we know that we couldn't get into the villain show to save our life. So,
right, yeah, it's tough.
Where you could build a place to do dinner shows would be, why not Art of Animation? I mean, it's slightly different than all the values. It would be the only value to have a table service location. There's room nearby to build.
Absolutely. It's a good idea.
And it completely fits the resort.
Yeah. There you go. All kinds of great ideas.
Yep. Man, if an Imagineer was listening, think of the craziness.
Yeah, feel free to give us one of those global annual passes, folks. Ideas. We'll take it.
All right.
We'll be flown to Shanghai Disney.
Yeah, that'd be great. Or we could be transported there once they get the technology.
Oh, yes.
All right. So let's end on this note. We've all we've already talked about Marvel being a potential fifth gate. If you were to build a fifth gate, Dominic, what would you build as a fifth gate?
It would have to be Marvel. I think it would be a superhero land.
Yeah?
Yeah. Because right now my teenager thinks like Hollywood Studios is the park for her. And I think that would probably be an entire park of just the teen park. I think it would rival Devil Park, as you recall, where it's like, what do you combat with Harry Potter? And that's it. I don't think it's Avatar. I think it would be Marvel.
Yeah. All right. Fair enough. Aljon, what would you build?
Well, I agree on that, but I still think that Star Wars Land needs to be a fifth park.
Yeah.
You know, it's too rich of a franchise to devote to a singular land, and I think the experiences are rich enough that it would attract people year round from all over the world to come. Not, you know, and I don't disagree that Marvel, because I do agree that Marvel is definitely one that can stand by itself, but I believe Star Wars can as well, and convert Hollywood studios to simply be a Disney Pixar park, a combination park to celebrate even live action. They are committed to live action films, so they need to go ahead and just put the live action characters in there, live action Alice, and do all that. So yes, that was a big long answer to your question.
Perfect. Kristen, what would you put in, my friend?
I have to go with what I said earlier, and I'm going to agree with Dominic. Yeah, it's got to be Marvel. There's just so much that can be done, so many characters, so many places that, I mean, ideas are endless.
Right.
So
I agree. I would love to see Marvel. I would love to see Star Wars. I think that there's so much you could do there with all those properties. I have two ideas. One is just a personal thing that I know will never happen, but if I say it enough, it'll make me happy. It always goes out around April 1st, is like a steampunk themed park. Have lands that are very similar to how they did Tomorrowland in Disneyland Paris. Very Jules Verne, have very steampunk-esque, or maybe just an area like that in a fifth gate. But I think what's more feasible, and especially with what's going on down at quote unquote Devil Park down the road, is Disney is going to have to come up with something that they can do utilizing their Disney it's not Disney XD, the game, you get the little pieces.
Infinity.
Yeah, Disney Infinity. I think a Disney Infinity section of a bigger theme park based around technology and games that Disney has. You know, you got the VR games, the Disney Infinity stuff. You've got you could bring Marvel in there as well. You could have all this different gaming technology and still have different lands and experiences built into that. But I think it's going to have to be something very high technology driven, and it's going to be cost prohibitive, because technologies, by the time they start planning it, is already going to be obsolete. But there's got to be some way that they could leverage the products that they have in the technology realm and build it around a park. Plus, they're going to have to do something, because Universal's getting ready to open the Devil Park is getting ready to open something very similar to that in the next couple of years. And once they do that, the eyes of the younger generation are going to be focused on that, because that's going to be fun and cool and hip, and there's nothing Disney's going to have to compete with it.
Yeah. You know, it's all about being in touch with future technology and being able to plug and play and have rooms and experiences that could be lifted and changed at a second's notice. Unfortunately, you know, that is not what Disney does. It's something that Universal does very well, but then of course their theming suffers as a result.
Right.
Harry Potter is something that, you know, Transformers is in and out very easily, but to do an overhaul on Harry Potter, you know, I don't see that happening anytime soon and very quickly either. So,
right. Okay. Yeah. Well, guys, I cannot tell you how appreciative of the conversation. It's a good conversation. I loved every minute of it, and I think we could probably go on a couple more hours if we all had beer. But we're all hungry. Well, most of us are hungry, and it's kind of late at night. So let's do this real quick. Dominic, why don't you start? Remind everybody where they can find you on the internet.
You can find us at wdwplantoons.com or just plainplantoons.com, or on YouTube. Just search WDW Plantoons, and we're also on iTunes. Same deal. Just search WDW Plantoons. Watch some cartoons.
Yeah, buddy, and they're excellent. So go check that out. Aljon, remind everybody where they can find you.
Yes, WDWTeakroom.com, part of the Sorcerer Radio Network, and SRSounds.com. Great programming there. Sorcerer Radio celebrating 15 years. Also, JediMouseketeer.com, WDWAfterDark.com, and if you love pro wrestling like me and John do, ProWrestlingCast.com. There you go.
Too sweet.
Life.
Life. Excellent. Sorry, I just nerded out there for a second. All right. Kristen, tell everybody where they can find you.
diningatdisney.com. You can find it on all kinds of social media, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, all that kind of stuff. Also on iTunes, you can download the Dining at Disney podcast. And then on our website as well, pick up a couple dining guides. I always have one for food and wine, and I've got working on updating the Epcot one.
Yeah, so. Send me some information. I'll hook that up on Parkhoppers too. And I'll do that. That'd be great. Okay. Well, you guys know me. If you're watching the show, you probably know me. It's www.parkhoppers.com. WDW Parkhoppers on Facebook, Twitter. We have all of the regular places. You can also find us on YouTube as well. I can't thank you guys enough. Please, if you're listening, go check out these guys' sites. There'll be links in the show notes. They're amazing people. They're a lot of fun. And if you ever get the blessed opportunity to meet them in the park, please take them out for a beer or a cocktail or Coke or water, whichever they deserve. And definitely, if you bump into Dominic and his family, those kids need, food and stuff, because they had great ideas.
Right.
So thank you. So we're almost done. I have to give away a $25 gift card, and I've been trying to figure out the best way to do it. And honestly, Rachel had one of the best questions, talking about different transportation. So Rachel Guy 72, you are the proud owner of a $25 gift card, courtesy of Bill Wingate at facebook.com/BillMustLoveTravel. He is going to be your favoriteest, most awesome travel agent. If you want to book a Disney vacation, he's amazing at that. So definitely check up on Bill. Thank you, Bill, for sponsoring the show. Rachel, if you want to shoot me an email at parkhopperjohn@gmail.com, parkhopperjohn@gmail.com, or just find me over on Facebook or Twitter and say, hey, it's Rachel's Guy 2072. I'm dyslexic. Yeah, dyslexic. I will make sure that gets out to you. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for listening. And as my good friend Tony Casanova from Disney by the Numbers says, we will see you in the parks.